This new hologram technology is giving UCF students a chance to learn about patient health care without the patient ever even needing to step foot inside the classroom.
Spectrum News 13's Rachel Krause continues our team coverage now from downtown Orlando. Following up, Rachel, on that part of the story. And this afternoon, doctors are saying they're not surprised by this shift.
Yeah, Julie, doctors say that it is frustrating but not surprising. It's something they've been warning the public against for months. I spoke with a pediatrician who says that last year there were significant protections in place to stop the spread of coronavirus in children, from mask mandates in schools to social distancing and other prevention methods that were keeping case numbers down. Now, with kids back in the classroom in big numbers and mask mandates loosely in place, if at all, in Central Florida school districts, many doctors say this case spike we're seeing could grow. And with young children ineligible to get the vaccine, combating these rising case numbers will be tough.
Right now, we don't have vaccines for kids under 12, so that's not an approach we can use, unfortunately. And it's probably the #1 most effective approach of all. So we got to fall back on the next effective approach, and that is masks. But everyone has to wear them. You defeat the purpose of masks indoors if there are people indoors without them and people with them. It defeats the purpose of it.
Orange County currently has a 20% positivity rate for new coronavirus cases, and if we're going to bring those case numbers down, Dr. Mashinsky believes that mask mandates in schools do need to come back. And if the court sides with the governor on masks, the next major milestone that doctors believe could help is when vaccines are approved for younger children, but that could still be months away. Reporting live from downtown Orlando, Rachel Krause, Spectrum News 13. Eric, that's exactly right. The school board last night voted to mandate masks for everyone for the next 60 days in an effort to combat already high numbers of pediatric COVID-19 infections. That's right, Ebeth, and we'll let you know a little bit more about how to do that in just a moment. But already many people in the community have been coming out to the police department here to show how much they remember and appreciate Officer Rayner and his sacrifice, dropping off flowers, saying prayers, hopeful that they can show the police department here how deeply they feel this loss too. Law enforcement.
And you don't have to worry about this drying out your pen either. All you have to do is push it in one end and pull it out the other, and the clean pen will still be able to write.
At the Mineola Athletic Complex in Lake County this morning to continue our live team coverage. Rachel, good morning to you. That's been a very busy location as people are showing up to get ready for the storm.
Yeah, residents here in Lake County are preparing for strong winds and rain that could come from Tropical Storm Elsa, and that means packing up and filling up sandbags to protect their property from any potential flooding that could come their way. The Mineola Athletic Complex is one of 7 sandbag fill-up sites. Yeah, you bet. The rain is still coming down here in Tavares. It hasn't been coming down too strong, about the same strength since we've been seeing at 4 and 5 a.m. here, but the winds have definitely picked up here over the last hour or so, gusting pretty strong here, but overall nothing too serious so far in Lake County. Now, the Emergency Operations Center is activated. Fireworks at the Fountain is planning for a return this year after the pandemic last year forced the popular event to close for safety. Now, with 57% of the county's eligible population having received at least 1 dose of vaccine, the city is bringing the event back, ready to celebrate.
Because more of its students and staff are now getting vaccinated, UCF says for those people coming onto campus, you'll no longer be required but encouraged to wear that face mask on campus. It's a big change for the university. The sandbagging station in Sanford is off to a slow but steady start ahead of Tropical Storm Elsa's arrival, as families come out to pack up the supplies they need ahead of the storm's arrival. But one Lake Mary family says they wanted to get out here as soon as things opened up to beat any potential rush. County leaders say they plan to have this self-serve sandbag spot open until 7 o'clock tonight here at the Seminole County Sports Complex. And if you do come out, don't forget to bring a shovel. In Sanford, Rachel Krause, Spectrum News 13.
Orlando. Rachel, good morning to you. So this latest surge is getting serious for so many hospitals. Walk us through why that is.
Well, Advent Health, as you may remember, moved to black status less than 2 weeks ago, meaning they are postponing any non-emergency patient surgeries after the hospital system surpassed its winter surge in COVID-19 patients, with now more than 1,000 inpatient hospitalizations. And they're not the only ones. You bet, that's exactly right. The school board is expected to meet later on this afternoon, and face masks once again expected to be a topic of discussion. But even as new coronavirus cases in children surge across the Sunshine State, the district here does not have a mask mandate in place for students. And previous discussions on the topic have gotten fiery.
Rachel Krause joining us live now from near Port Canaveral this morning. We see the ships there in the distance behind you. So, Rachel, that ruling coming ahead of cruises returning to sail once again from the Sunshine State.
Yeah, later on tonight, Disney is preparing to launch its first passenger cruise ship since the pandemic began. The Dream Ship here is expected to set sail from here in Port Canaveral, bound for Castaway Cay in the Bahamas at 7 o'clock. The cruise industry has recently begun making its return to the Sunshine State, with Carnival and Royal Caribbean recently beginning voyages with a variety of COVID-19 safety protocols.
Krause joining us live from Port Canaveral this Monday morning. Rachel, good morning to you. That's the Disney Dream Ship that we see behind you, but it's not staying docked there too much longer.
Yeah, Disney is getting ready to sail the Dream, its first passenger sailing since the pandemic began. It'll leave tonight bound for the Bahamas. And a federal judge's ruling over the weekend could make it easier for cruise lines to require passengers so they are fully vaccinated before stepping on board.
Want to bring in Spectrum News 13's Rachel Krause joining us live outside the Seminole County School headquarters this morning. Rachel, good morning to you. So what do parents need to know about these new changes?
Well, Julie, Seminole County Schools announced just last night that face masks would be required for all students and staff members unless parents opt out with a written note. The move comes after just one day after Central Florida's largest school district, OCPS, announced that it would be making the same change. Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings is expected to talk about plans from the county to combat these rising case numbers right here tomorrow morning. And you may remember Mayor Demings has already called on county residents to go back to wearing face masks and coverings in crowded indoor settings because of these rising case numbers.
Want to bring in Spectrum News 13's Rachel Krause joining us now live from Barnett Park in Orlando. Rachel, we know that's always quite a busy site for testing and vaccinations. Now medical leaders continue to stress higher vaccination rates are key to stopping the spread.
Yes, and they say that that's also the key to stopping the spread of the Delta variant. Now, case numbers of the Delta variant are rising here in Florida and all across the country, and doctors are concerned about its rapid spread. Doctors say the Delta variant is far more contagious and makes people much sicker.
Rachel Krause is joining us live now in the newsroom. Good morning once again to you, Rachel. So owners say that this is more important than ever right now. Tell us more.
That's right, Beth. With more Americans getting their COVID-19 vaccines, more restaurants across the country are reopening dining rooms and welcoming customers back inside. But costs of food and supplies have skyrocketed during the past few months, making it even harder to keep going. The restaurants that have survived so far say they won't make it much longer unless Congress replenishes the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. The fund initially provided $28 billion in funding